Shh.
Allow the two
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. Off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. àní ẹ̀sùn lájú. bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. àní ẹ̀sùn lájú. ijó ìgbádìyẹ. àní ẹ̀sùn lájú. pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Hello there. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and a good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Mayegun live, and thank you very much for joining me. So tonight we are going to do a bit of a catch-ups. So, and we'll see how far we can go with that tonight. Please, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast, like it, the thumb under the video, like it, share it, invite your friends and your not so friendly friends, tell them, Mayegun is live. And if you have done that already, thank you. So tonight, starting with the first one, again, as the political diary of the Templars. So we're going to kind of like put this in as well. So we have been following, the developments as we have always been. The developments in Nigeria, right? And it is not just like physical development per se, but political development. So you are aware of the coalition, you are aware of ADC, you are aware of the PDP, Wahala, and the accusation and counter-accusations, double allegations against APC, Egbekegbe being responsible, right, for whatever crisis that these political parties are facing. However, they are out there, both APC, both APC and their opposition. So for Tinubu, it's been the harvest of the campaigns, while for the opposition, the coalition, it is also like the harvest of the campaigns too, or marching and all that. So that's going on. One person that just made his, his own view public on all these happenings is Buba Galadima. Well, he's a common face, by the way. He is the, should I say, political associate of Kwakwansop, and somehow they are also in talk with coalition. And you get, so his own observation is this, that somehow he thinks that this whole thing going on, they are Tinubu's kind of like a play book, that the way the opposition are already out, like, this their coalition, the blah, that it is to wear them out. You get that now? Like by the time they get to 2026, they probably have either been decimated, so infiltrated and compromised, or by then, right, they will be too divided to show any form of strength to get Tinubu out. So that is his own projection, by the way, so don't forget that. And it is not what he said, right, that is so special. No, it is how he said it, including where he categorically said that Tinubu has no plan of conducting free and fair election. I think that's the regular allegations by oppositions every now and then anyway. So he believes that Tinubu has no such plan of conducting free and fair election. Like I said, it is not what he said, it is how he said it. That is where we are going to start from this evening. And then we're going to kind of like, take them here and there as usual. So if you are joining us right now, please don't just join. Kindly like the broadcasts. think it's the least you can do, but it means a lot. Decent, right? So Buba Galadima talking about the opposition as well as Tinubu and your 2027 charade. Here.
In the last 6 months, complained severally about INEC's inability to call political players to order. And I came to realize, painfully too, that they are not in a position to do that because those who pay the piper dictates the tune. This issue of campaigning before being allowed by INEC was started by the government of the day. And this suggests that INEC cannot be an empire in a political environment as we have today. If they don't have the lever to even say, please, don't, we have not yet allowed politicians to start. But I also want to say that the wisdom by the APC to start campaign early is because they wanted to see their opponents such that they will, through time, before time, cut them into pieces. And I saw some of my friends in the opposition just fall into the trap because they are not seasoned politicians. They are opportunists in politics. If they had known, or if they are politicians, they couldn't have danced to the drum being beaten by the APC. Now you can see some of them started with SDP. I was here on this platform to warn them that no opposition politician in his right senses will start a marathon race against a sitting government. Because by the time it is time for you to say go, you are already tired and exhausted. And this is exactly the trap they fell into. So they were decimated in the SDP. They moved to the ADC. They are still shouting, 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 shouting. It's not yet time. And they will get exhausted. They will be dismembered. Especially come November, there is rumors all over the place that this government is nominating a just retired Court of Appeal judge who is known for notoriety to be the chairman of INEC. I wish it is not true, because if that man becomes the chairman of INEC, be rest assured that this government is inviting a civil war in this country. In the last...
Okay. So, Mr. Galadima, calm down. Let's try, like I said, it is not what he said that is, anything so unique or out of ordinary. No, it is how he said it, right? Tinubu, and I think we've had similar convo before. Let's start with the opposition are acting too early. Do you get that now? They're acting too early, and Tinubu and his agents, they will devour them. They will devour them, pretending to be like he cares. So they shouldn't. They should wait and give it. It's not yet time. Then he's pointing out the possibility that it is the handiwork of Tinubu, because they are supposed to be sanctioned for like going public, talking about 2027 and all that. Now, if that is true, which is not, in my own opinion, because Tinubu and his gang are doing everything possible to push the propaganda that Tinubu is very popular. Together now, like it's very popular. Look at all these state governors that are just abandoning their party and they are joining in. Look at all these House of Representatives. If it is that bad, even though it's obvious, right, why they are doing that, but in the political kind of like space like that of Nigeria, that's not how they see it. Because in politics, optics also matters a lot. Here you get optics matters a lot. Even if it's just going to be for Photoshop, just for the photo hop, we then take pictures, keep it as a record. It does matter. So Tinubu and his gang moving enough to show to you that you all remember now that by 2027, Tinubu no go get opposition. And you are also watching them do that. So when these guys came together and said they want to stop a one-party state, they are not wrong. As much as Nigerians are complaining and lamenting every now and then, things are tough. This government is so corrupt. They are waste all of those complaints and all that. The impression Tinubu wants everybody to have is that, listen, Tinubu supporters are not on social media. Look at all these states. Look at all the states he controls now. I mean, they've succeeded in doing that, though, haven't they? I mean, I remember that right now, they just count APC states for Tinubu, and automatically it's been counted as places where Tinubu is going to win. Who is going to win? They will say, they will be asking you that dumb question like, so who? Who is going to now? You think say all those governors will not let anybody to win theirs, as if to say, well, as it's expected, the governors will rig it. And who do you think can out-rig them if they have all the federal backing and the INEC and the rest? So they are already doing that. That no matter how you complain, how hard you know they, like no matter how hard you think you are criticizing Tinubu, it's very popular. It's all these politicians. Anyway, that's their impression. But they seems to be giving him too much credit sometimes, I think. The typical Nigerian thing. The Buba Galadima said they have started hearing the rumor that Tinubu is going to appoint INEC chairman from Yoruba land. They said they are hearing that. And it is one retired appeal court, judge or president or something. You remember that guy, the one that was given the ACN, court victory. Remember that? What's his name again? This something. Yeah. And I think we've said something like that on Mayegun's Diary Political a few days ago as well. Because Momodu Yakubu, his tenure would end in November. That's just like 2 months away. So Tinubu is going to have to appoint somebody as acting INEC chairman and then INEC chairman. So Tinubu and his camp, they have released a kind of like a graphic, it's not like graphic, just was like kind of like a propaganda stuff. They released a list, and in that list, it's about how many, people have produced, how many regions have produced INEC chair, right? And they are now saying that, Southwest hasn't produced the INEC chair. So they're going to bring somebody from, Southwest. So that's the rumor they said they are hearing. And according to them, Tinubu won't be breaking any law by doing that. It's just his prerogative. So for Buba Galadima to now say, if that now comes to be true, Tinubu will cause a civil war. And I'm like, right. What do you even mean by that? Because to them, there's nothing you do. Tinubu is going to get his second term. And in that regard, the election will be rigged. And it is going to cause a civil war. Because, you know, that won't be the first time. Like, they've already started saying that in northern Nigeria. Yeah, if they rig the election. Ayo Salami. God bless you. Somebody just gave me the name. Ayo Salami is being... You know, one thing is this. Tinubu and his gang, or let's say the guys in charge of Nigeria, sometimes they have a way, because they are still government. And government has this, I mean, they have these experts in different areas, including propagandists that they hire for national orientation. I mean, so, yeah, those ones who starts the National Orientation Agency. Do you think Nigeria National Orientation information they are giving you is not pure indoctrination? It's been pure indoctrination, propaganda, lies. And they say they are working for government, NTA. It's government they are working for. They are working more on you, not for you, for government. They are working on you. I know. So they have all the guys pushing their stuff. So what if Tinubu and his gang will do is that they are already dropping it like, you know, dog whistling. Yeah, he's going to appoint a Yoruba man. We are hearing that he's going to appoint somebody from Southwest. And if you try that, they won't appoint somebody from Southwest. They will just go to Kwara, which is North Central. And they will go to maybe Bumino area in Kwara. And they will just pick one Oseni Philip Michael. He ain't gonna just be Muslim, Christian, the same name. They will say that's your next INEC chairman. At least you can't say it's from Southwest. They say it's another Yoruba man, another this or they say, but no. Listen, it's from North Central. Or they go to Kogi. Yeah, they go to Kogi and go and look for one. I'm just saying, Tinubu and his guys. So by then, it will be close to, but they will tell you, you can't blame him for that. That's not. I mean, when Bokwari was president, Chebina then he appointed this one, Mamudu Yakubu. I did not both northerners. They say, well, Bokwari was a northwest. They say, okay, and this one is a northeast. I say, fine, they are not from the same region too. Tinubu is from southwest, and your INEC chairman is from North Central. So you will still know they are going to play you. Then what are you going to do? So the opposition, this clip, right? They met and they have started talking about if there's going to be any election at all, right? Then there are some certain things that need to change, including your law and your electoral reform. Funny enough, Tinubu and his gang are currently doing the amendment to the Nigeria Constitution right now. And they have already visited probably all over the country. You saw that time now, they had all this video. And what majority of them are pushing for in the electoral reform? Can you guess? Do you remember what they are pushing for? They are pushing for extra states. In this whole chaos or this wahala, they are amending the fake Decree 24, 1999 Constitution. That they are done patch still. You know, bring peace. You know, bring prosperity. You know, bring security. It is, you know, now, your 1999 Constitution. So right now, when they have the chance of doing something about it, they have election and all of that. About that one, second jury. So right now, the most important part of their constitutional review is to create more states and more local governments, so that everybody can have states and more governors, more deputy governors, more state house of assembly, more local government chairmen, more political appointees. In this case also, they are now saying, no, we have to do that. We have to do electoral reform. Listen to them. It's a long watch, right? Just to follow up, right? Dino was there. Can I read Dino?
To start with, this is a meeting by opposition political parties in Nigeria, and it's our maiden meeting. And the purpose of this meeting is to galvanize the support of political parties towards judicial and electoral reforms in this country, towards good governance, towards reforming our electoral process. And today we have adopted a name, and the name of this group will be Conference of Opposition Political Parties in Nigeria, COPIN. And by the grace of God, it was a very fruitful meeting. The Labour Party delegation was led by Chief, and we also have the delegation of ABGA led here by yes, and we have the apology of few political parties, but we've all agreed that as opposition political parties in this country, we are going to work together to end the pain and end the shame, democratic shame in this country. We want to make sure that we visibly meet to discuss issues of electoral reform, issues of judicial reform, issues of INEC, issues of rigging, and how we can partner together as opposition political parties in this country to work together to end the democratic shame and the democratic pain in this country, especially from the last elections we've seen in Kogi and Imo. We believe that we cannot continue like this as a country. There's a need for amelioration, there's a need for palliation, there's a need for correction. And we have resolved that I, as the convener of this meeting, will drive the political parties, opposition political parties in this country, to do the needful and to keep the party in power in check, to make sure that our democratic ideals, our democratic doctrines, our democratic tenets in this country is respected, and that there will be fairness, there will be equity, there will be egalitarianism in our democracy in this country. And we believe that we have adjourned to meet in a date that will be announced, and we are going to take this very seriously. And the battle to rescue this country democratically for all opposition political parties is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. And we are all committed to this cause. And what we are calling for here is not a measure. What we are calling for is all opposition political parties working together to build our democracy, to strengthen our democracy, to ameliorate our democratic problems, to make sure that by the grace of God, we push for, judicial and electoral reforms that will strengthen our democratic process and stop rigging and stop allocation of votes by the ruling political party, and to be proper opposition parties, proper political opposition political parties in this country. So it is not. It's a matter of collaboration. It's a matter of unity. It's a matter of doing things together for the betterment of the masses and the populace of this country. So it is not a matter of a measure. It is not a measure of political parties. It is rather a conference of, opposition political parties in Nigeria. And the main purpose is to make sure that together we push for a unified electoral and judicial system, to have a better electoral process, and to curb the likes of Mahmoud Yakubu from rigging elections in subsequent
Okay, so what's your reaction to the relocation of Kogi State governorship election tribunal to Abuja here?
I have no confidence in the judicial system, so I don't even, whether relocated or not relocated, the judiciary remains the judiciary.
This is about putting interests together to make sure that our democratic processes work for the general populace, who are the electorate, who are suffering bad leadership, bad governance, occasioned by bad electoral processes, as led by Yakubu Mahmoud. For us, for things to work, this partnership is for electoral, judicial, and constitutional reform that will help in improving our electoral atmosphere, that will make sure that one man, one vote will be the issue, that will make sure that anybody who goes to cast his vote will be sure that his vote will be counted, that will make sure that Nigerians will have confidence in the electoral process again. Because as it stands today, let me tell you, we have one of the worst democratic process going on right now, because the way the Electoral Commission is managing the process. And I tell you, it's very also important, as part of the electoral reform that we're pursuing, that the commission will be unbundled. Because as today, the commission is overburdened, and because of that nature of weight, commission is acting as state, as someone who is protection of the state, who work and conduct election as if the interest is to protect parties in government. The opposition parties have suffered more over the years because when you go to election, you have to work along with the fact that the electoral system is working against you from day one. And Labour Party suffered more in the last election. So for all this to work, the parties must be united. They must come together to have a focus on now the electoral system must be fair, electoral system must be credible, and the electoral system must represent the true wishes and aspirations of our people.
All right, thank you. Please.
I have a little question. Whatever you are doing in this coalition ends up at the National Assembly. This is conference ends up at the National Assembly. And the National Assembly is headed by somebody to do the right thing and to restore the right political.
The National Assembly is the people's house, and they will know that when the Nigerian people speak and have a reform that will protect the general interests of our people, that they will not work against it. Because one, the National Assembly does not only consist of the ruling party, it consists of all other parties, like the PDP and the Labour Party, and the NNPP, then ABGA. So we are going there to present something that will save Nigeria from this shame, from this international embarrassment, something that will give light and give life to our electoral processes, something that will enrich our democratic practice, something that will give growth and development to our people. Because why? Because elections are not fair, because elections are not credible, is the reason why those who get into government misbehave, because they are not elected by the people. When our elections start to have these ingredients, that credentials, that is fair, that is credible, and that is only by the vote of the people that you can be elected, you will find out those who get into office will be responsible and be responsive to the earnings of our people.
Kura, the National Vice Chairman, North Central ABGA.
Okay, let's step from the ABGA angle.
Yeah, the conference today showed us that we need to come together and make the democracy work again. So we can't allow it continue happen in the way they want it. This is a democracy, and we must work together. And this, at the time we are coming now, we must compel them to do what is right for the masses.
Thank you very much.
Abdulaziz Arikura is my name.
My name is Ajia Zoera Issa Ajia, National Deputy Woman Leader from ABGA.
Now, the elections are over and the political parties are trying to come together to find a way of adjusting the electoral process to give us credible elections in the country. Do you think, what do you think should be done to get the system working?
Okay, for my own assumption, the way they call us together, they want us to unite ourselves so that the way we can move the political level. Because believe me honestly, we are left behind. The way and those people are doing with the other parties, they are not doing actually what's supposed to be done. They are just doing their own. So after they call us, they want us to be united and live together so that we can work on together. I believe when we are united to ourselves, we can achieve what we want, inshallah.
Yeah. I hope you achieve what you want to achieve. Now, here is my own take on all of that. The reason why somebody like me won't buy whatever they are selling, okay, I won't. And this is coming from the personal long-time experience and others, and other people's experiences too, right? When you look at these oppositions, the one Nigerianist, you can possibly see a controlled opposition. They talk a lot. They are on TV, they are on radios, they are everywhere. And somehow, they are personally convinced that there are millions of Nigerians, right, that they are speaking for. But they are asking the criminals in power, benefiting from the rot, to change the rot and possibly politically hang themselves by doing the right thing that will work against them. You want free and fair election. You want electoral reform. You want this or that, but you are calling symposium. You are calling for, what do they call those their meetings? Summits. opposition's meeting. We have scheduled another meeting. Like, if you are really serious and you have millions of people that truly believe you, you are not going to ask these criminals to do what is right. You have to force them to do what is right. And if your opposition is not good enough to force their hand, don't go to elections. Let me give you instances a bit, or even one recent one, not so recent. When Tinubu and his gang, Bukwari and others, including Atifku, when they finalized the fact that Egbereju Lantern was gone, after working on those who are with him, right? They boldly, I don't know if some of you remember that, they boldly came out the moment the Boko Haram kidnapped the Chibok girls. They were the ones behind the kidnapping, eventually. But they were the first to lead 1 million man march, then column for Abuja. I don't know if some of you remember that. Bokwari was in the front. Erufaya was there. Oshiomole was there. And there are so many of them, like except Tinubu. There are so many of them there. And they were telling the Egbereju Lantern to bring back the girls, bring back our girls. At the same time, they are now using that same situation to remind Nigerians that Jonathan has to go if you have to die to make sure that he leaves. If not, the way they kidnap the school children, they will be kidnapping everybody all over the country. I don't know if some of you remember that period. They were not speaking on TV, on radio, on paper, online. No. These guys gathered for Abuja, the seat of power. Go. They marched. Soldiers, military, all of them, no fish shoot them. Police, nobody. They were providing security for them. You know why? If you can't go shoot Bokwari in the middle of Abuja, what do you think will happen? Because Bokwari and his gang believe that they have that millions that they are speaking for. And there is no stupid government that will make a mistake to harm you in that kind of, So why can't they lead millions of those they expected to vote for them to kick Tinubu out? Why can't they convince this million, Peter Obi and the rest of them, convince these millions and move straight to the National Assembly, where they will now make demands that will relate to the Constitution, they will demand for special, speedy discussion on it and approval. They will march to the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Millions, like maybe not millions, but if you are able to gather at least 40,000 people, you know what 40,000 is, Sha? Do you know the stretch of 40,000 people? So imagine you are able to mobilize 100,000. Do you know the size of 100,000 human beings on a single spot? Do you know the margin? Do you know the number? Do you know the size? So if you guys who have all these millions and all of that, these are the ways you can get Tinubu and his gang to know that it don't get serious now. You get? They will be afraid to politically witch hunt you or use the politics, compromise on you because you are a criminal as well. So they won't be able to use that compromise on you because you are not alone. They can shut down the country. That is the kind of opposition that can tell you that they will kick Tinubu out and you will believe them. Not all these talking heads, because they can't. I'm sorry. And that is why majority of us are just hoping that Tinubu's rigging as expected will be too obvious that it will be enough to trigger majority of you to say you've had enough. This is it. A reason. I'm just saying. But these ones that will love to tell you, he's my friend, oh, he's my brother. He's talking about APCO. He's talking about Tinubu and this or that. You know that he's my brother. We are friends, which is true. They are friends. And the intention is that, even if we kick you out, you are still going to shop in government. Don't worry. Do you understand? So they say, you're my friend. So they don't want you to stage any form of protest revolution that will end up consuming them too. Do you understand that? Or so I think. I may be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I may be wrong. But if that didn't happen in this recent time, a lot of you will be saying, hey, you want to go to lead. So you want them to go and lead. And you don't understand. You are facing Tinubu and his gang, existential life threat. They are telling everybody that everything is fine. You don't have any reason to say you want to remove him. But they want to criminalize standing up against Tinubu. Like, if you dare say you are contesting against Tinubu, it will now become something like it is so criminal. Like, why would you do that? I don't let him finish his 8 years now. How long is left? How long is 8 years will complete? I don't understand why people can't just let him finish his 8 years. Have you not heard that from people? Yeah. People who says that to you, they are wondering why you want to remove him. Do you get that now? Like, I'm not supporting him more, but I mean, they are all the same. And at least the country is getting better too, even though things are very, very bad before him. But I mean, I'm not a supporter, but I think I don't understand. Look at which one want to succeed him. Share this one, share that one, share this one, that one cannot, this one, yeah, share you get. And they are all convinced that why can't they just let him do his own 8 years? Baba is 8 years. That's the mentality. And for the sake of national unity, what is wrong in that? Why can't they just let him do his own 8 years? Now people's destiny, people's lives, they have mortgaged. 1 decade, 10 years of your life have been stolen. And if you have to roll it back as well, Baba, 10 years is not small. Imagine if you have to now lose 16 years. How old are you going to be in year 2031? So you just want to endure it, as in it's just let him do his own. Another person will come. They do you shake it. They will say, let him finish his own 8 years. So let's do the math. Lababs, you can help me, Baba. So let's say I was probably 20 years old when Bokwari came in 2015. And they say, let him do his own 8 years. Yeah, how long? I mean, it's very soon. They say 8 years will go, another person will come. You had 8 years, you don't turn 28. Tinubu is there now. Those 2 years, you don't turn 30 already. And they are saying that, I don't understand. People should let him do his own 8 years. Nobody says he shouldn't do 8 years. What most are saying is that if he can make their life a little bit better than what it is, like that's not too much to ask. If you want to do 60 years, maybe you should go and do it. There are people who don't care. So then Tinubu come and they say, let him do his 8 years. And before you know it, Baba, you don't turn to 36. At the age of 36, you have nothing to show, because there are many, many 36 years old that have nothing to show. It's not because they are lazy. Don't let us even go there at all, please. Don't let us go there. So then by 2031, they will say, maybe another person will come again. Now we'll begin to do jaku. They will say, what's the point of removing him? It is their own region's turn. So the power will come back to your place later. Let him do his own 8 years. Baba, you don't turn to 42. Still nothing. And that one came. They started with the same again, and they are telling you that listen, it's not that long. It is their turn now. It is the turn of the north. It is the turn of the east. So that one started. Let him finish his own term for the unity of Nigeria. Baba, you don't turn 50. At the age of 50, you can't turn to a Adubu. Oh my boy. You they pretend say you don't see me and you better go rep more and be okay, don't worry. You go Adubu. I go see you where they come, sir. I go see you, sir. This is how they have succeeded in destroying people's lives over time. Out of that, you get to see 1, 2, 3. Out of 1,000, you will manage to see maybe 10 or 20 that are just keeping their heads above water in their own generation. So somehow, I mean, those ones are enough anyway. If those ones can make it, God, now only God know why you know make them. At least look at director's cut. You know, be your mate. Yeah, he has built his first house. He's currently building a house for his mother. Yeah? And he's just 30 years old. You at the age of 42, you don't get wife, you don't get children, you don't get anything, job you don't get, skill you don't get. You say you'll be graduate, but your graduate is a religious study. And you know that kind of thing that you are almost like useless. Now, somehow, you are now aspiring to be the counselor of your ward in your local government area. Because no, at least you are educated at this age. So people could go they say, look at Director Scott, he's your age, he's you get. And you could go they wonder, say, not true. Now God bless him. It's only God that helped him, doesn't mean. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to say here. That you get to realize that and most of these success stories, people have to do it on their own. Systemically, the system is there to exploit you, brainwash you, and at the same time, to indoctrinate you. You know that what indoctrination is, right? Of course you do. So if you think outside all kind of indoctrination, you are considered as a rebel. Devil picking. Devil, we did this your heart. This devil, we did this your heart. How many times did someone do that to you when you were growing up? Because you are just stubborn. Other children are obeying. The indoctrination was working. They obey, obedience to children. And can't you be like, hey, I don't even know what happened though. When I don't know about you, when you frustrate your mom to some extent, and she'll be talking loud and say, I don't even know where I even got you from. Out of all my children, you are the only one that is, because now only you they think outside the box. You understand? Now only you they wonder why that one go get bigger meat, you go get small. Now only you they wonder, but to others, they've told them they should just obey it and follow it. You will don't turn to rebel, that turn to rebel within them. They will say they should watch out for you. Then they will say, you see this devil inside your heart. This devil in your head, you are the devil speaking. That kind of a child, the type of child that they have to give a special prayer. They have his own special prayer during family prayer time. Don't see my eyes don't see to some extent, even with this my little age. Right? I've went for an holiday before that the only background check that this lovely family, right, they had about me was that I was a very stubborn boy. He's a very stubborn boy. I don't know why they believed I was so stubborn. Sure you get, and these people had their own church. So before I got to the house, the daddy, which is the father of everybody, they were aware of me. Okay? True story or personal story. So when I got to Lagos, and I got to the place, they have their children who are like my age mates and a little bit older than me and maybe younger. So they now said, we welcome, play around a bit, and they told us to go to bed. So while I was in the room with other boys, like 2 others, the old man now came, and it was like around 10 or 11, right? He now came into the room and he said, Sheyi, please come. So I stood up. I followed him to the living room. So when we got to the living room, the old man, right, he had a Bible. So he brought out the Bible. I can't specifically probably remember the exact chapter, this chapter, that. I just realized that all the chapters he was quoting in the Bible and he was asking me to open them. They were talking about stubborn child, why a child must obey their parents. Any child that disobey their parent, they are following the path to destruction. So when we get to anything, we say, may that not be your portion. But don't worry, don't worry. Your holiday here, right? You know, Holy Spirit, Heavenly Father will help us. I call it as I go psychiatric home. I swear. Not like that. It was like I needed help. That something was wrong with me. I was brilliant. I was like, in fact, I was partly on scholarship. Yeah, this in my primary school. I had scholarship all through. And our own kind of scholarship is not that your own kind of scholarship. Our own kind of scholarship was that once you came first, you are going to get a free exercise books that you're going to use in next class. You are going to get all the writing materials, pencils, sharpeners, all those, you get everything, right? And then they will now give you prize money. That prize money will buy my own textbooks. So which means like 80% of what I needed for my next class, I will win them in this present class. So that's the way I was. So they just didn't know what was wrong with me. I just didn't listen. I'm always like making trouble. I'm making trouble. It's not like I was making trouble everywhere, but it's just that like they would tell me to do something and I just not do it. You know, I forgot. You forgot. And you know that time that, like, why did you forget? And I was already like sweating, all my head dusty because I've been playing football like for hours. Didn't do anything, you know. So Baba will now say, so throughout my holiday, I will never forget. Maybe this is why I couldn't forget it. So maybe like around every 3 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, when I'm probably trying to get into that sleep, go, it will come in and it will wake me. And he will ask me to sit in the living room. Like that kind of gentle torture. That I started kind of wondering that maybe I actually had the evil spirit. You know, I was convinced enough that because I was living in Odogbolu, we had all those, there were sacrifices everywhere. And God help me. I used to wonder why people would leave money on sacrifices whenever I was like passing by, and I'm like, why did they leave all these 5 naira notes here? So we'll go pick them, something like that. So they started convincing me that maybe that was true. And I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just being playful, just being in such a way. Now back to the real thing. So when you are dealing with Tinubu and his gang, the characters that will convince you, right, that even in the toughest of the toughest hardship, your case is still better. And you know that in Nigeria, we have this habit. I don't know if you have noticed that too. And that habit was that, you're wondering. So the habit was this. I don't know if it's an habit, but you are going to get it when I say it now, okay? We love to compete. Okay, maybe that is not that competition, I mean, right? We love to compete in the sense that we love to compete at the oddest things, the weirdest things. For example, if I say, man, let me share a story with you, all of you, I just want to do a motivational speaker for you. I want to motivate you. Do you know that if I tell you that the kind of sufferness I suffered, I suffer. And I want to start describing it. As much as you are supposed to be interested in my story and say, wow, really, Mayegun? You see, if I was sharing my personal upbringing and everything stories with Agbeke, At some point, I go, oh, my baby, come here. You actually went through that? And I'll be like, you don't understand. I'll come and wait for the call. Oh, my baby, I'm so sorry. Come here, come. Oh, really? Like, yes. We carry Koroba for 3 kilometers. And I have to fetch drum. I have to, oh, I said, no, that's the way we're being, you understand? Because it has to be done. Everybody goes, everybody had their own show and all that. But you don't do that with Nigerians. If you are in a room, and everybody's now talking about, Baba, I suffer. Baba, I thank God. Baba, if I tell you what I see, now only God, I suffer. Maybe somebody there should just be like, really, Baba, sorry, sorry, I understand. No, a Nigerian would jump into it and say, oh, Baba, you know, he never hear your story. He go automatically say, Baba, you know, suffer reach me. You come here and say, suffer next to the competition, but you say, hey, oh yeah, let's see who suffer past. I suffer past you. Baba. So why two of you are still struggling who suffer past? Another person will say, see, the combination of the two of you sufferness, reach 5% of my own. I say, yeah, tell us your own suffer. In that manner, yeah, Nigerians are more or less like, if I tell you my story, everybody here go they cry. Say, I know if you cry. My own story, what's past your own? Baba, I'm telling you, if I tell you my story, you will start crying. If you are crying and some say, another person just say, if I tell you my true life story, I swear to God, 3 of you will die. Yeah. Why would your story make me die? That's Nigerian way. So therefore, the criminal politicians will now be like, no matter what you are going through, your own better. Do you know that in Cotonou, a tin cup of rice is 2,000 naira? But in Nigeria, it is 1,000, it is 900 naira. You will come to ask yourself, say, am I from Cotonou? Go say, Cotonou ni Mutewani. They say, hey, see, a bag of rice in Ghana is 3 cedis. In 3 cedi naira is say 150,000 naira, but in Nigeria is 80,000 naira. You go to say, Shara Ghana, I mean, like, am I supposed to be grateful that people in Ghana are buying a bag of rice for 100, even if they buy it for 500,000 naira per bag? Why should I be grateful for their sufferness and appreciate my own suffering? Say, well, I think my own is better. So a bag of rice is 500,000 in Ghana. Bajo. No, what Nigeria is better. Yeah, let's be honest. Things are coming down. Things are getting better. APC, they are very good doing that. Make you feel like no matter how things have turned, you with the feet pay your children's school fees before because you had a job. Now your salary can't pay the school fees of your children. It can't feed them. It can't feed you. You know about that. But somebody is now telling you that the reason why you can't pay your children's school fees is not because of the economy. It's not because of the low pay. It is because you are not thankful. If you know how much they are paying in Ghana, if you know how much they are paying in South Africa, even those people with the UK, where they tell you say Nigeria are no good, ask them how much is their rent. You that is inside the whole Pangolo already. They will tell you, say, maybe we appreciate God. You should be happy. You should be grateful. We all know that things are not great. But at least, your own is better. There's all of you that is screaming, you cannot live in the UK. Ask your people in the UK, say, listen, you're talking about this place. And there's somebody that told you he would do it better. And some of you believed him. Now do it. They say they get emotional. This one wanted to be president. He's one of those who were doing remember when Showore and others, 2019, Fasua, Tope Fasua.
No, well, thank you very much. Money illusion is a concept, a well-known concept in economics, and maybe you're having a high velocity of money without actually being able to purchase as much as you can. However, in this instance, it's not just like that. It's not, it doesn't work fully well. Why? Because of one critical thing. The prices of factors of production have not increased at the same rate as the depreciation in the value of the naira. So if you had 100,000 naira today, whereas it may not be able to buy you what 100,000 will buy 2-3 years ago, it can still take you some way, because for example, the price of labor has actually not increased commensurately. For example, so those who are in the construction world are still able to do a lot more with the naira that they have. This is a naira economy, not a dollar economy. Therefore, it doesn't actually work, scientifically and logically for us to just simply convert the money into dollar and say, oh, look at it where the dollar is. Nigeria is still a very cheap country to live in. Nigeria is cheaper. People who have gone to Ghana and come back, and I've done that a few times in the past, will tell you there's a lot. The naira goes a lot farther than the Ghanaian cedi and so on. Of course, the naira goes a lot farther in Nigeria, and I've made that analysis several times. Sometimes it's been very heavily criticized, but it is what it is. It's scientific that the naira can do a whole lot for you in Nigeria than it would for you in. The other time I even did an analysis, looking at rentals in the UK. For a 3-bedroom flat in Knightsbridge, you probably would need about £10,000 every month. That's a lot of money. But even in our most expensive place in Banana Island, it's a lot less. You may be like a third of the money. And that is what we mean, that, in Naira, if you're trading in Naira and you're in Nigeria, you would do a lot more with your Naira than you would in many of these other countries that we cannot. Therefore, I don't want us to let that be a get-out-of-jail-free card, especially for the state governments. Because some of them, I've heard some of the governors say, oh, yes, we are getting this money, but in dollar terms. No, it's not dollar terms, it's Naira. First of all, the first charge on your money is to pay your staff. And, and of course, many of the state governors have been magnanimous enough. They are paying even a higher minimum wage than the federal. Some of them are paying. In fact, one of them, I think, is Imo State or so, increased to 120,000. In Lagos State, there is 100,000 for minimum wage, because they also are aware that, look, there's a need to do something because the value of the naira depreciated a few years ago. So, but there's a lot that can be done apart from paying salaries, doing infrastructure work, which impacts directly on multi-dimensional poverty, little infrastructure, road work and all of that, that's the next level, and that's what many of them already have started to do. I think we're going to see an explosion of those little infrastructure developments in Nigeria, because the factors of production, the cost of price, the price of price have not increased. Some of them have not increased at the same rate as the naira has devalued. So we can't be talking about money illusion here.
That is how they go on TV. They will flaunt questionable data. They ordinarily can't really make any impact. Yesterday, they announced the reduction in inflation in the country. Okay, the cost of production is still very much higher, cutthroat. They are aware of that. Businesses are dying slowly, or APC is giving a different impression, and they are converting borrowings. They are converting them to investment, or not converting, no, they are presenting them as investments. You understand? And they are doctoring the books that is looking so good. But when you ask, okay, how is that impacting the lives of the people? Because it should, ordinarily. Okay? Then they will tell you it is, because the prices of things are already coming down and blah, de blah, and the blah. So some people would be optimistic and say, okay, maybe just give them time. Papa, it is a single policy. Nigeria is import dependent, so to say. And until Nigeria produces what she needs, right? And be surplus enough to export at least a lot of what they are producing, the people will feel it. To them, the highest contractor, highest employer of labor in Nigeria today is government. Okay, and these hired, employees of government drawing resources from the scarce resources have made developmental, strides almost impossible. So they now relied more on loans. Sure, you get. So running a country on loans, also you will say, oh, contractors are employing people, they are giving them jobs normally in a working country. You will get to see and say, okay, oh, as a government, oh, our policies have created this particular jobs, number of jobs. And in that case, it has created a particular economy. I'm not saying that, at least for the ones they are giving their contracts to, even if they are not going to complete them, for the period some of them are working on this project, they are expected to make money. And whatever money they make, they will also reinvest it or spend it within the economy, which goes on and on. But we all know that is not true. Majority of the state government, I'm not leaving it for Tinubu alone now, okay? Majority, if not all of the state governors in Nigeria, and they are running their own states, like they are running, they are spending the state's money like it is their personal piggy bank. So when the money gets to them, they put up bogus, most of them white elephant projects, the projects that they have no intention of completing. And if they ever wanted to complete them, they are over bloated. The main goal was that to use such to siphon money out of Nigeria. This money that they are stealing, they are not using them in Nigeria. That's one reason why the kind of corruption you have in Nigeria is the worst that you can think of in any part of the world. There are corrupt countries in Africa that are kind of like worse, but they are not like that of Nigeria. The level at which they are stealing in Nigeria is at one grand scale. When you have 36 state governors, then you have all the principal federal officers. All of them have managed to amend the law, put their hands directly in the cookie jar. This is no longer like they have the cookie jar and they are dipping their hand in and taking their hand out. They have buried their fingers and their hands in. So the money they are stealing is not being reinvested in the country. They are not opening up businesses. If they ever open up any business, it is just to use that to also steal more, siphon more. So you get rip or rob the country of more. So that's why it's a theory of they are creating this economy and these people are making money and all of that won't make any sense or real economic sense. And there are many other things to unwrap there, but I'll leave it like that. Go to something else. Their major investor right now is Dangote, who has a refinery of over $20 billion and is currently working at about 50 or so percent capacity, enough to supply every fuel needed in that country for the next, at least for the next 10 years. I have seen the number. And of course, is now projected to be selling its product to neighboring countries, better than what is selling to Nigerians. So the story is long until recently, by the way, when Newpeng and others decided to down tools because they said the style of Dangote venturing into the oil sector is looking like the business world called the hostile takeover. So hostile takeover in the sense that every supposed middleman, right, in the business of oil industry, that will be between, the middlemen between Dangote and his supposed customers, they've been removed by a singular decision of, getting his own trucks and delivering to his customers for free. So unionize your members or we will never let you have your trucks work. Dangote is a quota system billionaire. Dangote's money is not just Dangote's money. Dangote is holding the extra purse of Nigeria for the crooked criminals who have probably like gotten their own lifetime, pension through, you get. So they are there, and indeed they could pull strings. So initially they said they've settled. Afterward, Dangote granted his own press statement, and it was like, no, we didn't settle like that, because in his own company, his workers have their own union, okay, and their members are allowed to join that. Their members have access to this, they have access to that, housing loan, medical this, training, and they are the highest paid graduates in Nigeria, sort of in this video, right? Dangote.
Or 4 times their own. Our government to make sure that we keep creating and generating jobs. And we're generating jobs every day. That's why sometimes, I laugh when, what do you call them?
Which one?
Is it Nupen? Nupen. I don't even remember that. So, Nupen said no, there will be losses of jobs. Gentlemen of the press, our company did not only buy 4,000 CNG trucks, we bought 10,000. 4,000 tankers, 6,000 dry cargo. Because there are some they carry our coal, some they carry this. So we have them in various places. Because what we are trying to do is that we are trying to modernize this. But you can see how innovative we are, because who is going to lose? Actually, Dangote refinery will lose because we will lose a big customer. Dangote Cement used to import 40,000 tons every month of diesel. So now they will stop buying from us. They will now go and be using their gas, CNG. And like what I keep saying, we are not going to need the charge. So as soon as people now realize, because those trucks, when they came, the CNG, they didn't cause attention. Because the one that caused attention are the tanks. The tankers are the ones that actually caused the attention. But those when they came, now we have already launched almost 4,000. And before end of the year, the remaining 2,000 will arrive. Because even today, we have a ship that brought about 200. Every day they will be arriving. By end of October, all the 4,000 tankers will be here. But by end of November, we'll have total on the road 10,000, I think 250 total. And today when you go and check our records, and it is actually in our own financials of Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement, even now with the trucks that were bought, we're only doing 60% of our own cargo. We're not trying to take anybody out of the market. These trucks we launched, we didn't stop anybody from his work. You are saying that there will be lots of jobs. Are our own tankers going to be driven by robots? There are no robotic trucks now. There are trucks that, yes. And by the time you take a workshop manager, mechanical, electrical, okay, people who look after tires, people who look at logistics, movement of the truck, dispatch, back office, every truck is about 6 people. So these 4,000 trucks they are fighting over, it will create 24,000 jobs.
You get that? So in his statement, he said, why did any other person probably do it? Like, you can also go and bring your own trucks. But the point is not bringing trucks. The point these guys were making was that, number one, on 4,000 trucks alone, Nupen will be making nearly 1 billion naira every month. Every time the trucks load, so for their union members. But there's good side, and that good side is that they can be able to look into the employment contract of Dangote and see that the interest of their members who are Dangote staff, their interest is protected. So sounds good, like a win-win. Okay. But Dangote was like, no, that's not okay. Because there's no law that says I have to work with you. I don't have to. And what you are saying as your reason why you are objecting to these trucks is that, okay, you are probably going to be out of jobs. No, you can join us and become a Dangote truck drivers. And then you get paid and all that. So then we will be driving their own trucks or the trucks they currently have. And they're like, well, that will be up to you. That's not up to him. So they call that hostile takeover. It's like Dangote has all the advantage. Do you understand? Like it's got all the advantages and they've got nothing. He's holding the biggest, kind of like at the stretch of the stick. They are holding the tip. And eventually it's going to drop. And it's going to be a matter of time. But another question should be on what road are they going to be driving all these trucks? Maybe a conversation for another day. Here is where he had it in that same press briefing.
Or 4 times their own. I mean, our own, after 5 years, free accident, nothing, a driver can apply. Since we are driving hazardous goods, you can apply and get a housing loan. Our drivers earn more than graduates. If you look at what they earn in a month, it's almost 4 times minimum wage. And you are saying that no, don't create jobs. If you look at it, that's why I said that my people, when you got here, I'm sure my people took you around and show you some of the trucks. And please go and ask anybody. I don't want to tell you, but go and ask anybody. It's not every truck that you can load here. With just a spark from the silencer, the whole place can catch fire. But see, some of them, when they come, we have to manage because we actually don't have trucks. And I can show you, by the time we load Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, you see the volume will crash because the trucks are not there. They are talking about 30,000 tankers. It's not true. Nobody has 30,000. 30,000 where? For where? How? What do they carry? So to actually, ask all these things and say, no, you know what? Let's make even life easy. Okay, because the question of you joining a union, if you look at the act, I think it was section 12, subsection 4 or so, it said that it's voluntarily. You have to volunteer to join a union. Even religion is voluntary now. I can't force you to be a Muslim if you are a Christian. You cannot force me to change my religion. I will choose. And if I think I'm doing the wrong thing, tomorrow I will decide I'll move and change to another one. So it is not a question. Nobody will lose any job. And if they have that issue, any of their driver, because the fight is over drivers, any of their drivers who doesn't have a job and he wants to join these people to earn more money, he is welcome.
So that is him now poaching these drivers. I think they have a capitalist something. There's a name for it. You get that now? Like, I'm not going to use you and your trucks to take my products to my customers who are also going to be your customers. So I'm not going to let you out because it is not it's not enough for him to refine the product if the product can get to his end user. And with these guys, they can interrupt his operation. So he went on, got enough trucks that he believed could move enough product across the country. he now bought existing filling stations, signed a deal with the existing filling stations, some of them, who were also willing who had over 4,000 outlets across the country that are now willing to collect his products. So he's now saying it to them that I'm going to deliver it to you for free at no extra cost. So that number one, he has already sold the customers, the end user, the retailers, all these filling stations. He sold them with that offer. So those ones will be like, okay, they don't have to deal with all these truckers or NUPENG or anybody. They don't have to. Sorry, I think my screen froze it. Anyway, so that's a good offer for them. So if he can deliver, they are fine with him. Now you see the truckers who believes that he's taking that power away from them, right? And they said, you know what, the reason why we have to fight is because our truckers, our truck drivers, they will be out of jobs if they are not supplying these outlets. You understand? Because if you're already supplying them, that simply means they won't even buy from us or from the marketers or something. And then he was like, okay, if your drivers are going to lose their job, what I have just done will give you 24,000 new jobs. It's up to them if they want to come. That is him now poaching the supposed driver that's meant to stand with NUPENG one by one. They will be taking his offer. They will be selling their trucks away or probably just leave their trucks and they will work for him. So we now be the one in control of both customers and workers, drivers. You understand that process, right? They have a name for it in maybe in a business or economics, or I can't remember. But I shall know there is a name for that tactic. Yeah? Your landlord gives you quit notice. You turn around and bought the house, and you allow him to rent a room, and you became his landlord. You remember what I mean now? Like you probably have heard that before. Yeah? Your landlord kicks you out of the house, and then you turned around and you bought the house, and they became your tenants, living in one room. That's exactly what Dangote has done. It's more or less like you've got no choice. You've been boxed to the corner. You all have to come back and ask him that, how can you help me then? How can you help us? We know that, all of us are not with them. We are with you, sir. Please help us, kind of. Style takeover. But it's not really taking over anything. It's just cutting them off, I would say, right? But let's go to something else as well. Okay. This time, it was another tragedy. An incident that happened in Lagos Island yesterday. Adelas caught fire. Many offices, shops, businesses were completely destroyed. But before the destruction was completed, the evacuation of the occupants of this building, like there is no emergency exit, or people just didn't follow it. Somehow, majority of them got evacuated via windows, including top floor windows, where people had to smash through these windows to get evacuated and rescued. In all of that, it's more or less like there was no emergency services around early enough. I think they finally got there though, but thugs, area boys were there to harass journalists, reporters, and whatever. Everyone from covering the space. But there were videos, amateur videos that made it to the internet. You probably have seen some of them. I have too, and I want to share some with you. So viewers' discretion is highly advised. And if you realize that the background sound is louder, it is to cover something and ensure that we don't get a strike for hearing this. This was Lagos Island.
Leave your bag. Jump. Throw your bag. Come meet you. Huh? Come where they go. Go where they go. When the sun will come down now. Maybe I won't do it.
See, this one don't play now. It's supposed to go now.
As that guy jump. Now why go use the back? You got to use back. Use that back. You got to the end for that.
Don't jump, see this girl, no. Don't jump, don't jump. What's the fire now?
See, bro, to be honest, fire service never come out. That man will do that in don't even with my moral confidence. Why you go do like that? I mean, a man. Like this guy. If you are left,
I take jump.
You use back, huh?
Use back.
Yes.
Hey, use back.
Don't be there. Don't be there, bro. You get when you hit for out it. Here.
Now you head. Now you head. You don't see the blood now from your head.
You know that.
You don't die. They don't see that. They don't do right now.
Then
So, stretched out the video in order to reduce the height of the building, which ordinarily would have shown you how people were jumping out. And that could possibly have made that graphic. And yeah, could get a sanction for it. So, but the message is, you got the message, right? So it was that bad. And in defense of all of that, where people were saying, "Oh, where are the security? Where is the emergency services, the ambulance, the firefighter, the firemen?" The Ronokus were saying, what is the big deal about people jumping out of the building? So they started searching for videos abroad where people were jumping out of buildings when the house was on fire. And they started posting them to say that's not enough to condemn the government. It happens all over the world. Okay. And for the number of people that died, because that's the most valuable things lost in that fire. Before everybody will begin to probably count their losses. This is what the buildings or the environment everywhere looked like after that fire. And I think that was today. See me
You know how many houses? You know how many houses the house go collapse like this? Maybe 3 months ago or 4 months ago, one house still collapsed inside Adubo here. I don't think anybody man. No, they don't come out. I don't think so, but they go see and come out. And the money where they generate for a year. If you no get, I tell you, say if you no get 20 million where you keep for somewhere, you know if you collection for you. I swear to God Almighty. And they talk on yesterday. No be the bank, be this. No be the bank. The bank is another incident, but very close to each other. Just 3 minutes away from this place. 20 million they talk, never furnish am. 20 million wey be say no be you go use buy market sef. 20 million na just shop only. If you want collection for this building wey una dey. The person go find that shop. They go tell am say you collect am 2 million. The person go tell them say you go give them 5 million. But they give you 2 million back. Na so shop rent take dey expensive. That's why they are building rubbish. Because of saying they find money by 1 million. You go build one small that time. You go get person say ownership na 1 million. Which one be ownership? Na land I come. Comot for that evil. Yoruba self wey get property self. No, me I dey tell you, no bro, even if na you wey get property, the person come money go collect am. Wetin you dey talk? You grab, the person come money go collect am. If you put something for 2 million, person for 5 million, another person collect 2 million, no give my 2 million back. I said the time person that they say they say that they support my government. I said no be support. Let's see truth and say no. Let's see truth talk to me. Problem of this market all this plastic, where people casual shoe wey walk about, where all these people they wear. One thief no wears. Because this work 1 million. 1 million is done. 50 M one plate for all those things don't burn like this now. Every damn shit. It's just like
So that is what the the experts kind of called the fire hazard, health hazard environment. Like if you have been to Mandela's and you have been to that part of Lagos Island, Balogun, and all those places like that. Idumota, going all those. They call the place film bars. You will see many people who have sold their family houses to developers, and developers who have erected all kinds of structures at exorbitant cost or rent. So when you get to see the wiring, the cabling, and all of that, that transfer the electricity generators, and they have like, God knows, maybe 1 million generators in the market. All of these are coexisting in the same place there. Like, so the fire actually took a lot of areas. So it's not just one building, like more than 4, 5, or 6 buildings. They were really, really impacted. And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again and again. Safety is not really a thing. And the only people who could put that right, save your lives, they are the government. When government is right and the government's agents are responsible, they understand that if they make mistake, if they compromise, it will cost life or it will cost lives. Right? Government protects life. It protects everyone. But bad governance actually endangers everybody's life. Everyone. Even the lives of these rogues themselves. Their lives is not safe. Right? So let's put that aside. Or maybe we should let... Here is Isaac Ayushi. He's talking about Nigeria Nigerians and the Nigeria criminal leaders. The similarity, in his own words, probably learning right now that when you go into an arrangement with those who are criticizing government and you think they are on your side, you may end up being the pawn on the chess table. They just needed to use you. They will always be on the side of the criminals. He is tired. He's describing Nigeria, Nigerians, and your leaders. Listen.
In Nigeria, I can assure you that 75% of people that wake up and abuse Tinubu every day are wicked, more than the same Tinubu they abuse every day. If you don't believe me, go to your office, leave your office for 1 week. If you don't believe me, go on the road, go and meet police. If you don't believe me, even some comrades where would they shout Tinubu must go, some of them, you put them in a position of trust, they betray you so fast. Some people, I will give them money for food bank to go and feed widows. I will think we are both looking to help people. I will say, go and help me feed widows. They will cut the money, they will chop the money. The Nigerians are naturally bad. So people say, oh, Nepal. If you try Nepal here, now looting spray, now you go suffer am. We cannot even do protest peacefully in Nigeria without them looting. Once we call protest, they come out like this, now looting. Now looting, so I'm not going to join them, they do protest for this, because now to loot. Nepal no fit happen for Nigeria because the people that are fighting the government are more wicked than the government they are fighting. So how will you say Nepal? Nepal is their politicians that are wicked. But in Nigeria, politicians are wicked. Followers are wicked. You don't understand. All the ministries, no be people they chop them dry. All our assets in Nigeria, no be people they do them. No be people they loot our gold in Zamfara. Is it government? No be people they kidnap. Tell me, no be governors and they send money to where supposed to do road. We go to do road where doesn't we pay in pockets than the road we pay the citizenry. We are all equally bad. That's the problem with this country. All of us, 80% of 75% of Nigerians are naturally bad. No be them they bring fake drugs. No be them they give us fake alcohol. No be them then go put drugs for hospital then go steal them. No be them chop maamala. No be them be your tenants. Where their rents don't finish, they are in court using style to stay in your house. Why in Nigeria is generally, but all of us are bad. No be them you go meet, and if we say let's hand them over to God, even church, temple of God has turned to commercial place. Church has turned to a business center where Daddy Gio is using private jets and using FT bodyguards, and the people on the church are trekking to come to church. Come on. We are all bad. The change starts from you. Tinubu. As you lay your bed, now so you go lie on it.
Tell me what are we producing and selling to other countries? Not even slippers. We eat the skin of our cows instead of turning them to beautiful bags and shoes. Eliminate that. It's a sign of poverty.
We are a poor nation. The bank code will follow. They say firewood not smoke. They say we need to plant more trees. And they are not giving us money. We need to open our eyes, try shining, and tell the West. If you don't guarantee our finances and work with us to stop this, we are not going to comply with your climate change. They'll do it.
They do it. So that's Isaac there, giving his own piece after possible personal experience, and a lot of you probably would agree with him. So not everybody, no, he's not saying the number may sound exaggerated, but it simply means that it is like a pandemic, a society where opportunities have been so limited, and to get to them is mostly by connection or divine intervention. So we, I mean, a system, a country where the criminals who are in government have decided to monetize access. That's what they are selling, access, connection. Eh? You tell me, like, every now and then when you, for example, you want to get a driver's license, right? Ordinarily, you should either go to the website of the agency responsible like issuing that, like normally, or you go to the office, I think. In Nigeria, naturally, you want to call somebody you know somewhere who can easily get it done for you without having to do a lot of all those processes and all that. You know what I'm talking about? And it is not all of us that are like that. But you won't pretend that you have not either heard people beside you to say, let me call so and so. The reason why they are calling that person is because they have connection to that person and they believe that person can possibly influence something that they want done. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's practically what he's trying to say that we can tell many things that are just not right. And we are a society where if you have connection, if you have access, you won't go hungry. You know how they say that, if you get access, you get access, so you know if you go hungry, you know how many people will want to see the governor? You can't be persuaded, say anybody will want to see governor, they feel arrange and don't they do like that? They worry you. Anybody that want to set meeting with governor will start with a 10 million naira or 100 million naira. So that they will give you, you are governor's brother, Baba, you don't understand. Go and ask me, and automatically you as governor's brother, governor's sister, just feel like, okay. So you want them to see you with your brother more. That's my brother. Make videos, put it online so that your customers go find you and say, sorry, Omayegun, we know that you are the Ogun State first brother, because the way it's done is that if my brother becomes the governor, if my if my father becomes the governor, I am automatically, the first son of the state. And you know what first son mean, right? So if my own brother, becomes the governor, then I automatically become the first brother of the state. Yeah, I'm a creative office here. In case if you have never heard it before, first lady, first son, first daughter, last born, first brother, first sister. Now you go call and say first brother to the governor. Say, oh, sorry, okay, that's the first brother. Say, first sister to the first lady, kind of. Yeah. And yeah, everybody just want to have access, sell access. Contractors, political appointees, everybody, they've come through you. Chief of staff to the president, chief of staff to the governor. So what is he going to be selling? Why is he so busy? Because he's selling access. Access is what they sell in Nigeria. Connections. The other day, right, a friend of mine, his brother, just got qualified as superintendent of police. So they were now telling us, and I was there. And the conversation that, and everybody's kind of like making that joke of, we don't get SP. As a boy, you don't become this change, get like that kind of gist. And from nowhere, as I said, so I need to say, I did not commit to now only one phone call it could take, like jokingly, that if by any chance that we probably fight with the police or the police trying to harass us and we turn it into anything, all we have to do is to call our brother because we have access. Connection. There's no country that grows like that. No. Until that stops, that things are done on merit. Do you understand? That's when you begin to have a real country, a real, But that seems to be like, you all know what I mean now. If you want to become commissioner of police right now, even if you're a gentle person, there's always going to be that occasion. It is either your friends are calling you to please help call, because to your friends, your brother, to everyone is police commissioner of a state. Do you get that now? But to you, he is still your brother. To your friends, he is their friend's brother. So when they run into any trouble, they will call you and you will call your brother. Do you get that now? If you are not a troublemaker and somehow, like typical Nigeria stuff, you're not looking for trouble will find you. Do you get that now? So police stop you and something will just let you know that, but you are not just ordinary Nigeria. Your brother is the commissioner of police. So, and then you begin to say, do you know me? And I say, okay, somebody want to talk to you. That moment, you have to phone. I have to phone my brother to bail me out. And then you phone and say, pass the phone to their superior. So where's your superior here? Somebody want to speak to you. Sure, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. We are very sorry, sir. We didn't know he's your brother. Even if you carry the cuffs, the back of your car, that moment, privilege, connection, access will just make you walk away. So don't pretend that you don't know what I'm talking about. You do. Of course you do. But it is not right. It is not normal. No, it's not. Well, what else is not normal? It is a man that is being persecuted instead of being prosecuted. A man that committed no crime other than making a demand for the legitimate, peaceful referendum that would determine if the Igbos want to remain, should be still be part of Nigeria or not. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now he's become a state most persecuted individual in the recent history of that contraption. From 2015, they've attempted to kill him twice, like physically kill him twice, and twice they botched it. You can see they failed. Then they've resorted into like the mental torture, mental abuses, a violation of his rights in such a way that their law says you are innocent until proven guilty. He is being treated like somebody that has been condemned. They've disobeyed court orders and the rest. Most of the cases filed in their courts on his, on the violation of his human rights in a country that was supposed to be a democracy, that they have rule of law, which obviously they don't, right? So they continue to violate their own laws, break their own laws with no consequences. Nnamdi Kanu requested to be transferred, that if you are trying me, I'm not supposed to be in detention of any government agency. Take me to the proper prison, which has its protocol of allowing people to visit me. I'll be allowed to, to have a medical access, like attention. I am suffering from so and so, but they wanted that to deteriorate and then kill him so that they can say he died of natural death. by denying him access. And that's been for years now. And Nigeria courts they have been presented with all this evidence many times. And yet they continue to cower under this most stupid service. As Nnamdi Kanu is seen as a trophy, we caught him. But they kidnapped him, violated international laws, and they didn't give a damn. And all of this have been part of stuff that have, stained the already stained fabric of Nigeria. Abuse of human rights, non-existence of the rule of law, disobedience to court order, and cherry picking, which of them they want to obey. So his lawyer was in court yesterday, right? And hang on, it was actually like 2 days ago, by the way. So they were in court and to file, for the case they filed for the transfer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to at least go to their own national hospital to have, his health checked. They've had their own DSS doctors who also recommended that Nnamdi Kanu should be taken to the proper hospital. This was like about 2 years ago. They denied that. There was even a time that, like they had to rely on court, yet the court couldn't do anything too. Here was what they had the last time when the court denied his request to have access to proper health care. Listen to this.
Yes, my brother. We came to move application for the transfer of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to National Hospital for proper medication, because we discovered that the medical personnel at the DSSS are incompetent and they are not giving him proper medication and attention. So we applied, and because his condition is getting worse. He's lacking potassium in his body and they don't have any solution to it. His leg is being swollen up, because I went to see him today before coming to court. So, but incidentally, unfortunately, the prosecution, the federal government, through their lawyer, countered our motion by filing 37 paragraph affidavits opposing our application for him to be transferred to National Hospital for proper medication. So the judge said today is the last day of his sitting as a vacation court, because the vacation is going to end today. That is going to send the file, the motion to CJ for the CJ to reassign it to the substantive court who has been handling the matter, Honorable Justice James Omotoso. So all our efforts to let the judge at least make that consequential order. In fact, most of the times you don't even need a motion, formal motion. You can do it so much, but the judge refused. And the question we are asking is that why should the federal government object the application seeking the leave of the court to an order of the court for Nnamdi Kanu to be transferred to National Hospital for adequate medication? Do they want Nnamdi Kanu to die? Is it not a living that will face trial? So this particular issue is really giving us concern. Nnamdi Kanu is somebody that is facing trial, and somebody who is facing trial under Section 36 of the Constitution is presumed innocent under the law. So it's a very frustrating situation, and we continue to pray, we continue to believe that the necessary thing should be done. We are going to follow the file up and to ensure that the file is listening to the court who has been handling the matter, and see whether it can give us a date for that motion to be had before 10th. That is where we are, and that's the update I said let me just give you. So he said that I should greet you people, lovers of
it's unbelievable, but it is not really surprising. You get that now? But we all know why that is. It's very sad. And that is why Omoyele Sowore, when he was in that same court, where he is being charged for cyberbullying and what have you by the police IG. So not just that, Omoyele Sowore himself has now counter-sue. You see, after that time that the DSS told him to delete the post where he called Tinubu criminal, Tinubu is a criminal, hashtag Tinubu is a criminal. You even need to type that inside the comment because that is the hashtag enough to that Omoyele Sowore believes should possibly rile them up to do or misbehave, and that could be the beginning of the end, right? Hashtag Tinubu is a criminal. A post is shared after Tinubu went to Brazil to say he's managed to end corruption in Nigeria. And Sowore was like, maybe he was drunk or he was high on something, of course. So they wanted Sowore to delete that post. They said the post possibly, I don't know, like, there have been so many other horrible things like said that are truthful anyway about Tinubu. So why is this particular one really getting them riled up? So they wrote Tinubu, they wrote Sowore. They kind of ignored them or he responded. Then they wrote to Elon Musk to help them remove Sowore from Twitter. They wrote to Mark Zuckerberg, Mike, I remember the time when we used to call him Mike Zuckerberg. Yeah, Abi Zuckerberg. So Zuckerberg of Meta, they wrote him to help them remove Sowore from Facebook. So these two platforms ignored them. Right? So the DSS now wrote Sowore again. Okay, you Sowore, what you have just written about Tinubu can cause breakdown of national unity. You need to go and delete it. So, and you also need to come to our office with your lawyer. And he was saying, no, I'm not coming. So now they've sued him for calling Tinubu a criminal and saying that revolution will remove Tinubu. So Sowore too has now counter-sued them, right? Suing X, Twitter, Meta, Facebook, and suing the DSS. I will not, and you must not delete my post. So DSS is asking the court to force Twitter and Facebook to remove Sowore from their platform because Sowore's action can cause the breakdown of law and order in Nigeria. It's a threat to national security. So Sowore speaking, Sowore was like, it took 1 million Nepalese to remove their corrupt criminals in Nepal and install an interim government that will last for 6 months and will conduct election to transfer to democratically elected. And if you have been following this Nepal stuff, right, they elected their current acting prime minister online. Yeah, everybody voted online. And she was the most voted, their former judge, or retired judge rather. So she is their acting or interim prime minister right now. She was sworn in. So Sowore seems to be fantasizing that too. Listen to this. It's a long watch.
Issues was arraignment. Inside was brilliant legal submission by our lawyers. And the outcome, of course, was that the judge decided and sided with us that he will have to look at our very strong legal opposition to arraignment. And he gave us a date in October, I think October 23rd, yes. It was my preference that we should do it in January 2026. But he said that that's too long. Because the reason I would have preferred January 2026 is that this case is not going anywhere. There's no reason to jam-pack the... But he's also a vacation judge, and vacation ended today. So there's limited authority as far as this is concerned. The case file must go back to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for reassignment. And I hope the Chief Judge is watching us not to reassign this case. I'm opposed to any attempt to muzzle the right of people to freely practice their religion and or associate or hold a thought. So the governor of Niger State, like other governors that I've criticized, they have no sense. What is the business of a governor? Asking, is he a preacher? If the governor wants to become a preacher, he should resign and go and join the priesthood. It's not his business to decide what. If a judge, if a preacher is engaging in inflammatory preaching, I think there are laws that the states can use to rein them in. But to tell a preacher to come and submit their sermons to you in advance, does the governor of Niger State know what is in there? Does he know anything about the Quran? Yeah? If he knows it, why is it that he should go and become an imam instead of being a governor? Foolishness. We are waiting for the ultimatum to expire now. Which day is that? We are always ready for them, but at the expiration, ask them what would they do. What would they do? No, they are not. They can't do anything. I don't look. Whatever they can do, we have been there before. So I say, let's go again. Nothing. Yes, but I must also say that it breaks my heart that more and more foolish people are in position of authority in this country. Anything that you did that didn't work last time, change your strategy. How can the DSS become the reputation police for the president of Nigeria? You understand? And if you want to defend the reputation of a person, defend the reputation of a person that has a reputation. The man himself cannot even challenge me. That's Tinubu himself. He cannot challenge anything that I've said about him. So, but the DSS, they have no work. And where they have work, they don't want to do their work. Their work should have been to be pointing to us where there are terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers across. But they know, but they prefer that the criminals are reigning in the country. And you are asking me to retract my statement on the president. But you saw a terrorist with magazines, about 40 on his chest. You cannot arrest him. You can't even him to retract his criminality. Rubbish people. If I have my way, and I've said it, we will reduce the National Assembly to a part-time job. So, that's number one. Secondly, we will have a unicameral legislative system of only 109 senators. And that's what we'll have. But to come to work, you have to go and buy your tickets from wherever you are. And we'll pay you when you are done. Maybe they will sit 12 times in a year. That's all. Pass the budget. After that, they go back to their normal jobs. Yeah, these ones are not. They are not National Assembly people. These are hustlers. Businessmen, Yahoo, Ponzi schemers. These are in the first place. INEC is one of the branches of the APC. So anytime INEC is telling you they are just I shouldn't be laughing. INEC is a joke. But whether they do early campaigns or late campaigns, what would have been important to me is for the Nigerian people to actually take a stand against the APC or any other political party that has betrayed them in the past. Whether it's APC, PDP, or their junior sister or cousin or uncle in the ADC, or any one of these fake political parties. It's for the Nigerian people to decide against them. It's early campaign or whatever they call it. It's not the issue. It is their inability to deliver on any campaign, whether it is done early or late. That's the problem with Nigeria. So our problem or our prescription for Nigeria for revolution has made it very clear that the idea of a heterogeneous Nigeria is an excuse. There are only two tribes in Nigeria that I know, the oppressors and the oppressed. Those are the only two. That's not heterogeneity. It's just two branches that are opposing each other. So there's no Hausa person that doesn't go hungry or Igbo man that doesn't go hungry or don't get sick. So, but with regards to Nepal, I have, when it happened last week, a lot of Nigerians are always excited about something that happens elsewhere. And when it is time for them to do it in their own country, they will go and queue up to eat jollof rice. And that's not a sign of people who are serious. Yeah, the number of youths in Nepal that changed the government in Nepal, probably there about 1 million. The number of youths that went to queue up for a rice that they couldn't get was 20,000 registered. So we need to get more serious. That's my position. But
price does not stop anything. She's just that is her business and she needs support.
I didn't mention anybody's name. I don't even know who was cooking rice. But I know that there was a rice event last week. And the solution to every problem cannot be rice. Anyways, we are not practicing orizatocracy. Government for rice by rice. My issue with all the governors, those are the ones you know, is from the president to local government councillors, is that they are useless. And as a result, they must be called out to be who they are. They call their appropriate name. If you are useless to me, I'll say it publicly. So I have labeled the president, the governor. Taraba is so far the worst from the records we are getting. The governor, Taraba, it's better that Taraba doesn't even have a governor than the person that is masquerading as a governor there now. The whole place is broken. But it's not limited to Taraba, it's also in Ondo State, in Borno State. We have dealt with Gombe State, we have dealt with Bauchi State, we have also dealt with even Oyo State. So everybody is going to get their own. Very soon. If it has not reached you, it's coming your way.
Who are the people destroying Nigeria finally?
The governors, president, senators, Nigeria police, Nigerian army, DSS or SSS. Everybody who is supposed to protect us is destroying Nigeria. The teachers who are paid to teach, who refuse to teach, are destroying Nigeria. The doctors who are supposed to treat people who refuse when they are destroying Nigeria. The police officers that turn black to blue is destroying Nigeria. The custom officer who is helping smugglers is destroying Nigeria. The army that looks the other way when they are bandits and terrorists is destroying Nigeria. The media that refuse to report the truth is destroying Nigeria.
Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Showore, our own vintage Showore, and that's undiluted, sort of heartfelt delivery is the reason why they said he would never be president too, because he is the only one who seemed to be telling them that for anything to work at all in that contraption, first you must identify those who are responsible. And by this time you are turning it off to restart it again, they should be history. And the system they've put in place to sustain themselves and their free for decades must also be destroyed totally. And something that is a complete opposite to what they have done should be put in place, like a unicameral legislature, working as a legislature, working part-time as a legislature. You should have another means of living, making politics unattractive, unattractive to thieves, very much attractive to those who really want to do something, So that's his delivery. And they're like, no, we can't do that in Nigeria. That's not possible. Let's forget it. Terrorists are giving press conference. Terrorists. They are, no, Nigeria, man. Terrorists, they do press interview at a peace meeting that broke down less than 24 hours after that. And he's telling everybody that the reason why his peace meeting before then broke down was because the military killed his brother. And because they killed his brother, who happened to be a terrorist too, so he just decided that there's no peace deal again. So they went on to continue their terrorism. He was saying all of this while Nigerian Army, DSS, NIA, police, government officials, community people, village elders, everybody were on seats and others were standing. The press and their cameras, they were all there to hear what the terrorists had to say. You don't need to understand what he's saying. I just told you. But imagine this, that a terrorist from God knows where, maybe a boring country to America, right? They are attending a peace meeting, okay? And American media, all of them, they had all their journalists there, their cameras, everything to hear what the terrorists had to say, why he's killing Americans. You know?
Matsala ita ta tara mu. Wace matsala ta tara mu? Matsala kashe-kashe, ɗaukar dukiya, ga yanan dai ba sai an ce wani abu, kowa dai ya san abin da ke. To sannan ni tambaya ta anan, din Najeriya, duk inda ake magana ana magana bahilla ce dan ta'adda ne barawo. Ai akan magana dai ake kenan. To da Allah tambaya ta farko, a ware man kabilar da ba barayi a cikinta. Duk duniya a ware man ita, kabilar da ba barawo a cikinta a ware man ita. Ku Hausawan da kuke mana magana cewar 'yan ta'adda ne barayi ne ba barayin a cikin ku. Akwai su tari. Sannan ba a ɗauki ƙabilanci aka samu ku ba. Mu sai aka ɗauki ƙabilanci aka samu. Ko ba gaskiya ba. To in ko ba a bar wannan hudodin ba, na kashe-kashe da ƙabilancin da ake tsora mana, to babu ranar da wannan abun zai kai ƙarshe tsakani da Allah. Dole sai an koma an ɗauki hanya ta gaskiya, an yi ma kowa adalci. Kai shugaba ka yi adalci, kai kuma na ƙasa ka yi biyayya, don babu yadda za a yi kai shugaba a yi ma biyayya ba kai ma na ƙasa da kai adalci ba, babu bai yiwu. Kai kuma na ƙasa bai yiwu a yi ma adalci ba kai biyayya ba, ko ba gaskiya ba. Sannan ina da wani misali ko kuma wata tambaya akan irin abin da mu in muka yi za a yada shi a duniya, mu wanda aka yi mana ba za a yada shi a duniya ba. Ina ga kwana-kwanan nan duk mai hawa social media ya ga wata matsalar da ta faru a yankin malumfashi ne, ana cewa an kai hari an kashe mutane a cikin masallaci. To haka ne ba haka bane, Allah kaɗai ya sani. Amma ni ma ina da tawa tambaya a nan, makamancin wancan wanda aka yi a faskari kuma aka yi shi. Ina ga kowa san Kadisau kuma a faskari take. Akwai wata ranar Juma'a 'yan uwanmu Fulani a cikin masallaci aka kamo su kamar kaji ɗaya bayan ɗaya, aka yanka su har mutum 5. Kuma an yi zana'idar su a kamfanin Dauda. Ina ga kila ba mamaki akwai mutanen garin anan tun kahin su girbi abin da suka shuka kenan. Amma da aka je aka yi masu, aka kama yaɗawa, an yi kaza aka rihe abin da su suka yi. To kaga irin wa'annan abubuwan duk akwai su, in muka yi ta zaƙulo su wala suna da yawa, ko ba gaskiya ba. An yi mana mun rama, Allah ce kamatu dini tudan, yadda kai za a yi maka. To haka da ka kashe man zan kashe ma, ko ba gaskiya ba. Ran nan ɗaya ne, in ka rasa shikenan, in na rasa shikenan.
At least you heard Mashalashi. That was the people they kidnapped in Mashalashi in the mosque. So he's explaining to people why he's a terrorist, okay? And why the peace deal is hard with all these communities several times, why they failed, because the military killed his brother. The military killed his co-terrorist. So he had no choice to consider the deal off, and they went back straight to terrorism, which obviously they never left. So that was him after their peace meeting, peace pact. And it broke down a few hours after that. because they went on to go and kidnap another 35 people. This time, the following morning. That's the following morning after their peace meeting yesterday. So that they went on to. And right now, there's no peace deal because they've killed more people and they've kidnapped more people too. So it was all just a joke, a sad one, you know. So our time is really fast spent, and it's been a very long time that I've actually like spent the full 3 hours. So let's push it a bit further, okay? If you are enjoying this, like you find it interesting, that it's been worth your time, so you can take a moment and still like the video, okay? Just if you have liked it, don't do it again. Just once is fine. Once, that's it. You can use your own TV remote control to do that if you want to. Just move the cursor, just 4 arrows, and you can just put it down and just click OK under that thumb. That will be you liking the broadcast. Once it's okay, the fastest way to doing that is to use your phone or any other smaller device for a sec. So Tinubu is currently visiting Nigeria. He arrived Nigeria early this morning or midnight, because they were there to announce the end of state of emergency in Rivers State. There were other dramas, but when Tinubu arrived on this his visit to Nigeria.
This is a privilege. My president. Down.
So people were supposed to be there to sing Baba Oyoyo, Baba Oyoyo, Baba Oyoyo. He's visiting them, maybe for a couple of days, because you remember that he was supposed to be on vacation for 10 days. Then the vacation was supposed to also come to the UK on his vacation. So they said they cut it short to go back to Nigeria to handle some important thing, and it is to tell you that Fulbara will be resuming tomorrow as governor on the order of Tinubu. So then maybe if there's another thing that needed to just kind of like act of you and do a fake meeting, enough to look like he's working, then he'll become tired, they will have to come to London. But they won't want to come to London like that. They may just announce to you that Tinubu is going to probably go to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and somewhere else. And you know that they will now tell you later and say, but you know that he didn't complete his vacation that time. So he's going to stop by in London for a few days to recuperate. Kolu. Yeah, so Rivers State. A lot of people have been reacting to the losses the state suffered in the last 6 months, as well as the supposed government responsibilities that were left undone. In one of the scenarios that took place in Rivers State today was that of the alleged state house policemen, security, who staged a mini protest when they screamed that they were not doing again. And the reason given is that they were protesting because they've not been paid in the last 6 months for providing security in the state house for the new sole administrator. That is yet to be confirmed, right? But there is a video of them protesting inside the government house. One of them made a video, and here is a copy.
Boys say they're not going to do it again. They're not going to do it again. Waiting. They make millions. They will block this gate. Nobody go anywhere. They make millions. We're not going to do it again. Which kind of thing be this one? For 6 months. Hard labor, suffering, for waiting.
They know they do again. But it doesn't really change anything, does it? Their service is no longer needed, I think. IBAS is going back to Akwa Ibom. Food barrel will resume tomorrow, and everybody will find its level, I think. But here is what others are saying concerning the state of emergency. About the declared state of emergency, right, which is illegal. Then this was taken to court as a matter of urgency. Did you know that Nigerian judiciary refused to allocate the case to any judge, or to allocate any judge or assign any judge to the case? So since March, they finally gave them the date for the court to come and argue if the state of emergency is legal or not. Do you know the date they gave them? October 2025. The state of emergency ended there tonight. Food barrel will resume in the morning, and the case will become irrelevant. Event has override that have been gone. That is the Nigeria judiciary. And that is the one you are going to go to when they review. That is the one you want to suit Tinubu's illegitimate regime to and get justice. Do with that information whatever you want with it. I won't say more than that. But here is what somebody else had to say.
Well, first of all, it's always a pleasure being here, Andy, you know. But it is beginning to appear as if anytime I'm in a rise, I'm discussing River State, Port Harcourt, and all that. I think I've made it clear that I do not believe there was need for any state of emergency in the first place. And I do not see how anybody could have said, Governor, go and sit down. House of Assembly, go and sit down. Because the place is ungovernable. And then you are holding elections. So it's a laughable situation, honestly. But we can only say we are breathing some kind of sigh of relief. Let us see where we go from here. But that statement by Mr. President, with all due respect, to me, is simply begging the issue. What was the emergency that IBA came to handle? What? The Supreme Court was the proper person that should have settled that issue, whether the 27 members decamped or not. If that issue was resolved, we wouldn't, all these things you are saying, whether 4 people can sit, if 4 people cannot sit, the Constitution tells us what to do. The National Assembly takes over the affairs of the state. If the 27 people had not decamped, the FUBARA will have no option than to work with them. But saying that you remove a governor democratically elected by the people of Rivers State and deny them democracy for 6 months, I think the president was wrong. But I'm happy that he has brought FUBARA back. Whether we can call him governor now, I don't know. He has no local government chairman or he has no local government structure behind him. There are 27 hawks looking to pick his eyes, pick his nose, pick any part of his body that they want. So
so they have him. And the only saving grace is going to be there. It's just going to be there ceremonially. And there is a chance that if I can remind us, part of the bone of contention. So when Fubara became governor and Wike became minister, right? More than 80% of Fubara's appointees, including commissioners, they were like Wike's appointees who were commissioners when Wike was governor. Do you get that now? So they keep their office and all of that. So what they said, every time they called state executive meeting, the governor, his commissioners, and everybody to discuss about what they want to do. For example, well, we want to do Port Harcourt sorry, I'm trying to make something up that can be relative, okay? So Port Harcourt to Ubima. And this project is a very good project. So it's going to, we need to get a quote and all of that. Commissioner of Works, Commissioner for Special Duties, Commissioner for Finance, Commissioner for Physical Planning. I want all of you to work together. Plus the Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, so that you can please put this together. Everybody should have contribution and get us a quote. Commissioner of Works will be like, I say, yes, please. I say, is Oga aware about this thing? This was supposed to be his commissioner, so his own appointee, so he is supposed to be the Oga. They will be telling Fubara, is Oga aware that his Oga is with the Wike? This was also part of the reasons why, like, it wasn't even governor. So every time so Fubara started bragging about having a red pen. You see this red pen? I am the only one who uses this red pen. If I use this red pen, you are gone. So some of them are just like, really? How? Like, so now that he's coming back, that is expected to be the issue, the case. You know? So it would be a ceremonial governor just there, because the real governor will be with a Wike. Right? Abi? Wike? Let's ask him.
The music, when we're in the trenches. Yes. When we're in the trenches. Yes. Come on,
Very wicked. But here again is another take from another analyst on top this state of emergency in Rivers State that just came to an end after Tinubu's order. Listen.
Mr. Shoma,
I do not think.
Yeah.
I
was asking that question in respect of whether or not, legally speaking, we've learned our lesson. And I mean, if you look at what is happening in the United States, for example, in any federal state, you see that thin line between the role of the president and the federating unit. See what's happening in Los Angeles when Trump deployed National Guard. When he did in Memphis, in fact, there are lawsuits as to whether or not, why should the American president deploy on certain issues, whether he has a power. And the federal government is saying in the United States that it cannot look on and see crises take over the street. Look at what is happening in Washington, D.C. He said he wants to take violence and criminality off the streets of Washington, D.C., deploying a National Guard. So the role and the responsibility of the man who is at the helm of affairs of the country and looking on when crises erupts in a state. But politically, I've asked you the legal question, politically speaking, as our politicians, have they learned any lesson? Do you think this could be a deterrent to see that if this has happened before, another president could do it? If you misbehave in your state or politician, take the people for granted, and the point that they allow violence to erupt in their state, it could be the precedents that have happened now, and it could replay itself. Could it be a lesson, politically speaking?
Let me first and foremost answer the question starting from the American angle. Yeah, that has been my point, really, Seun. Remember, when the day the state of emergency was declared, you and I were on this program, and I said, constitutionally, the president can declare a state of emergency in Rivers without having to sack the duly elected government in that state, because he was elected, with those government. But the question here is simple. You can still deploy, police to the state to maintain peace. You can deploy the DSS, you can deploy the army. They have been in Rivers in perpetuity. You can deploy them to those states to maintain peace without having to sack the democratically elected government. And then having to come to the politician, I do not think that the politicians have learned anything. Yeah, because today we've seen it happen in a PDP state because you have, a former governor who had one leg in PDP, one leg in APC. And so, to that extent, it is easy. The crisis in Rivers State is also not different from the crisis, that we see across board politically. It's just that of Rivers State, was so heightened to the extent that you have House of Assembly members that the governor did not allow to sit. In fact, at some point he claimed that he could only recognize them, by virtue of his green biro. And so that's one would have expected that if this had happened in an APC state, for example, where you have this seemingly crisis between the House of Assembly and the governor, one would have expected that if we see that and then we see a state of emergency, that's when I would say, yes, truly, there's fairness across board. But I do not think that the politicians have learned anything from what had happened in Rivers State, because if at all, sorry, quickly, Sean, if at all, we saw it happen in Plateau State, we saw it happen in Ekiti State, and then the way it was going, it was obvious that it was going to happen in Rivers. One would have expected that all the parties concerned would shake their sword, but they walk right direction.
Mr.
So I do not think.
Yeah.
I do not believe that.
Continue. 70 years old man. He taught you. Jesus is Lord. He taught you.
Anyway, it is what it is, they will say. And before we go tonight, I just want you to pray for the people of this part of Edo State, right? Where bad road, flooding have put people's lives in more dangers in times like this. Watch this.
Hey! Not be that side, can go back before it comes like this. Hey! See that second back, that can hate you to see it. Hey! Hey! You don't go. Hey! God! Hey! 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 You don't hold something. You don't hold something. You don't hold something. That guy power go finish. Hey! Hey! How do I take help her? Give me. Hey, see Percy. See Percy, see Percy. See Percy, see Percy, see Percy. See Percy. I pay me not small. Ah! Hey! Hey! See Percy, see Percy. See Percy. Hey, see another one, see another one. See back. Hey, see me. See me, see me. See people. Where's the man? Where's the man? Where's the man? Where's the man? Come on, where you? Where's the man? Where's the man? Where's the man? Where's the man? Hey, the man don't go. My guy, hey, hey, see, erosion don't carry that man go. The man don't, hey, the man don't go. The man don't go. Hey, Jesus, see the man back. See the man back. Hey! Lift the bag, lift the bag! As the bag don't hook! Hey! Mama don't go! Now the man get the bag! Hey! See the man back! See the man back! Hey!
Of our great leaders. Oh, Tonja, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. We'll join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their advantage. Our security agents.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
And on that note, we are going to call it a night. So thank you very much for your time with me. And again, I will see you when you see me, or I will see you when I see you. So you all have a wonderful evening, afternoon, or even night. So, good night from here.
Ayégun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Ayégun dáyàrí, ayégun nọ́mbà 1.
Máyégún làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó jódodo.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Máyégún ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Máyégún diary politico.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Máyégún diary na ibi number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà gbówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń gba rìbá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni. mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù máyé ń ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.